Hi there, and welcome back to the Investing Guide. Dave Ramsey had one mission when he began his company in 1992, to make it the best place to work in America, and for a long time, Ramsey's mission seemed to be heading in the right direction. But major allegations of unfair employee treatment and termination has brought the company's work culture to sharp focus by the media. Is Dave Ramsey Solutions a toxic place to work at? Keep watching to find out. Dave Ramsey built his talk show empire by providing people with sound financial advice. The image of the radio star was one of a helpful and financially smart personality. Behind the scenes, however, something else was taking shape. The financial guru has always been known as a man of his faith. He's applied his values and beliefs to manage his empire. This led to a company policy that holds its employees to the same moral codes. Now, you may be wondering what they are. The codes include no premarital sex, no cheating on your spouse, and always living your life by traditional Christian values. Some of you may find this strict or normal, but the allegations are worse than this. Recent reports see Ramsey Solutions to be taking this to an extreme level. This has led to allegations and lawsuits from ex-employees of unfair treatment and harsh practices. There are reports of interviews being conducted of the spouses of prospective employees. This is done to check whether the wives or husbands are also in line with the company policy based on Christian values. This was taken to the next level when a developer at the company was fired because of an innocuous social media post made by his wife. Adding fuel to the fire are additional claims that Ramsey Solutions did not introduce sufficient measures to protect employees from COVID-19. The story revolves around a Christmas party hosted by the company. Details have emerged that no employee who attended the party was required to wear a mask. This was at a time when the pandemic was at its worst. The wife of one of the employees who attended the event found this to be negligent behavior and, like most of us would, made a mention about it on her social media page. What happened next was that the employee was fired, and the reason was the social media post his wife made. The main allegation against Ramsey Solutions has come in the form of a lawsuit by a former employee who claims she was terminated because she informed the company about her pregnancy. Continue watching to find out more. Caitlin O'Connor worked as an administrative assistant for Dave Ramsey's corporation. In June 2020, she wanted to take a break from work. Miss O'Connor was pregnant and wanted to take the maternity leave she was offered by the company. She filed the required paperwork with the HR department and left it at that. Ms. O'Connor was expecting to receive the sanctioned leave as soon as possible. What she got instead was a termination notice. The reason she was served the notice was because of the circumstances of the pregnancy. It occurred out of wedlock, and Miss O'Connor is not married to the father of the child. The company made it clear from the outset that this was in direct violation of their policy. Rather than take the decision as a setback, Caitlin O'Connor decided to fight back. She filed a lawsuit in the U.S. District Court of the Middle District of Tennessee. The lawsuit claimed that Miss O'Connor was fired because of her pregnancy. Now, you may be thinking that Caitlin O'Connor knew the terms and conditions of the company policy. Since it is clear on what employees can and cannot do, does she have grounds to feel unfairly treated? According to the state laws in Tennessee, she probably does. According to those laws, any woman employed with an organization is entitled and has the right to take maternity leave. If the employee is not allowed to do so, she can file a lawsuit against her employer. In fact, Miss O'Connor has a federal right to maternity leave as part of being a woman employee in any company. Coming back to the lawsuit, Caitlin O'Connor's defense is being built around her stellar work record, and for 4 years, she was a standout performer, working hard for Ramsey Solutions. There are no blemishes on her employee record. 1 week after notifying the HR department about her maternity leave, she was fired. So, you have the termination based on pregnancy, and an employee being asked to leave even when she has a stellar work record. These are the two smoking guns the defense is planning to use against Ramsey Solutions. But there's more. Continue watching to find out. An additional layer of charges has been added to the petition. Miss O'Connor's lawyers have stated that the termination of their client from her workplace is particularly cruel. The reason they say this is because of her removal, she lost access to her healthcare coverage when she needed it the most. Adding to the Caitlin O'Connor saga is another interesting twist. With the spotlight firmly on the work environment at Dave Ramsey's company, there are former employees who have come out against their previous employer. These employees are claiming that the culture inside the organization is more cult-like rather than a regular office environment. The claims are based on the suspicion that Ramsey and his staff try and exert a very close control over people who work in the organization, especially over their private lives. Dave Ramsey incorporated his company in 1991. Since then, it has been its constant aim to make the organization the best place to work in America. There are current employees who attest to this fact. They've also come out in strong vocal support of Ramsey and his work culture. But there is rising doubt whether the work culture is toxic or not, or whether some employees are being terminated from their positions unfairly. Caitlin O'Connor's lawsuit has set the cat amongst the pigeons, but the attorneys for Dave Ramsey and his team are ready with their defense. They've rebutted all the claims made by Miss O'Connor, attacking each allegation made by her. They are using each and every piece of evidence at their disposal to disclaim O'Connor and her lawsuit. Ramsey's legal team have argued that the employee was well aware of the company policy, especially the rules regarding unmarried pregnancies. Despite knowing the rules, she broke them and even admitted to it. The organization does not check whether any of their prospective employees are engaged in premarital sex before they join the organization. The request for maternity leave filed by Miss O'Connor alerted the company that she had not followed their policy. The legal counsel for Dave Ramsey are also using sound legal arguments to strengthen their case. They state that under state law, companies are free to fire employees for whatever reason they choose, as long as they are not discriminating on the basis of race or sex or other characteristics and are not retaliating against them. The attorneys have also repeatedly stated the company line that employees are expected to demonstrate strong character all the time. Anyone who does not meet the standard has violated the company policy, like Caitlin O'Connor, and that is why they are terminated from the company. The defense for Ramsey has also pointed out that the policy describes premarital sex as a violation of the strong character provision and inconsistent with righteous living. The same violations have led to 8 employees being fired from the organization over the past 5 years. They were terminated on the grounds of premarital sex. Since Dave Ramsey Solutions have fired people in the past for indulging in premarital sex, the legal team has argued that there is no discrimination being carried out against Miss O'Connor. This leads to our final twist of the story. Continue watching to find out what that is. When Chris Hogan announced his resignation from Dave Ramsey Solutions, it took everyone by surprise. Chris was one of the most valued members of the Ramsey team, and had developed a passionate supporting these past few years. He left with the following statement.
Recently, it's come to light that I've done some things personally that are not in line with Ramsey Solutions. And as a result, I'm no longer a team member at Ramsey.
Speculation has since been rife that Chris Hogan committed acts of infidelity that not only led to his surprise resignation, but also to his divorce in 2019. This also brought to light the fact that he continued working at the company despite repeated transgressions. Miss O'Connor's lawyers may have just found a very strong legal point for their client. Her claims of being unjustly treated gains credibility here. If a woman employee can be fired for breaking the rules, how did Chris Hogan remain a part of Dave Ramsey Solutions? In response to the lawsuit and other allegations, Dave Ramsey has stated, "I'm so tired of being falsely accused of being a jerk when all I'm doing is trying to help people stay in line." Ramsey's star continues to shine bright despite the recent controversy. After all, people still require sound financial advice to combat bad debt and money problems. And the COVID-19 pandemic has also made matters worse. But there does hang a cloud over the evangelical financial guru over the harsh and unfair treatment of his employees. Hope you enjoyed watching our latest video. While you're still here, please go ahead and click on one of these 2 videos on your screen. See you there!